They will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m.
to 8 p.m.
Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their locations. Cross Street, Roseau, Pickard, Portsmouth, Marigot or Grand Bay. La Falaise House Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the 2025 Dominica Music Awards is set for May 17th. In news from the region, the Bahamas government says debris from SpaceX Starship rocket fell in Bahamian space. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump considers tariffs on Russia and urges ceasefire in Ukraine. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
Welcome back. Dominica's music and artists will receive significant recognition on May 17th during the 2025 Dominica Music Awards. Organizer of the Dominica Music Awards, Ambassador Leroy Wadix Charles, says nominations are officially open. He encourages Dominicans to nominate individuals in 25 different award categories up for grabs.
In light of and in recognition of the vibrancy and diversity of our music industry in Dominica, Creole Handbit and Ambassador Prince Wadix present the 2025 Dominica Music Awards. Nominations are now open and will close on March 31, 2025 for the 2025 Dominica Music Awards carried for May 17, 2025. Dominican music and content produced between February 13, 2024 and March 5th of this year are eligible. 25 exciting categories will be awarded this year to include Bouillon Artist of the Year, Cadence Calypso Artist of the Year, Gospel Artist of the Year, Soca Artist of the Year, Calypso Artist of the Year, Hip Hop Artist of the Year, Jazz Blues Artist of the Year, Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year, Compa Zouk Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Collaboration of the Year, Music Video of the Year, Producer of the Year, Songwriter of the Year, Male Artist of the Year, Female Artist of the Year, Band of the Year, Social Media Influence of the Year, DJ of the Year, Musician of the Year, Sound System of the Year, Manager of the Year, Photographer and Videographer of the Year, Sponsor of the Year, Event of the Year. For more information, you can contact our Creole Heartbeat Facebook page, or you could call 616-3457 or 225-1287 on this all-important 2025 Dominica Music Awards.
Organizer of the Dominica Music Awards, Ambassador Leroy Wadix Charles. Apostle Jody Andrew, Unika Esprit, and Dr. Nadia Wallace are among 10 women who were today presented with Exceptional Women Awards. The 10th edition of the Exceptional Women Award ceremony was held at the State House Conference Center this morning. The 10 women who were awarded by the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Social Services are Apostle Jody Andrew, Leandra Landa, Unika Esprit, Regina Joseph Lestrade, Fernandra Christian, Angelica Gasper, Malietta Valmont, Agnes Joseph, Dr. Nadia Wallace, and Melissa Morgan. They were awarded for their efforts in various sectors, including agriculture, mental health, social change, child rights advocacy, community empowerment, health, the arts, and more. Member of Parliament for the Roseau Central constituency, Melissa Popon-Skerrit, was a featured speaker at today's awards ceremony.
Today, I challenge every woman in this room to be the fire that lights another woman's path, not the wind that tries to put out her flame. But as we climb, as we break through barriers, we must never forget those behind us. Pope Francis, in his Lenten message, calls on us to do more than reflect inward. We must reach outward. He reminds us that empowerment is not just about rising alone, but about lifting others as we climb. He tells us to lift someone's spirits, to celebrate the successes of others, and to help others overcome obstacles. And I ask you, when was the last time you truly did that? Not out of obligation, not because it was expected, but because you understood that another woman's success does not diminish your own, it actually strengthens it. Too often, we see women who, instead of extending a hand, pull away. Instead of celebrating, they remain silent. But silence in the face of another woman's victory is not neutrality. It is the quiet erosion of sisterhood. And we cannot afford it now, and not ever. So in this Lent season, let us fast, not from food. Let's fast from envy, from hesitation, from the fear that another woman's rise will somehow make us invisible. Let us fill ourselves with generosity and kindness, solidarity, and the courage to lift as we climb. Because when one of us wins, all of us win.
Member of Parliament for the Roseau Central constituency, Melissa Popon-Skerrit. Minister of State with special responsibility for gender affairs, Dr. Cassandra Williams, says women have played an integral role in Dominica's development.
Throughout history, women in Dominica have been at the heart of our development as leaders, caregivers, educators, entrepreneurs, farmers, scientists, health workers, artists, policymakers, spiritual leaders. From our early struggles for independence to our modern efforts at building a more resilient and progressive Dominica, women have played an integral role. Our women have led in government, pioneered in business, advanced in education and healthcare, and strengthened our social and moral fabric. Their contributions, often made under challenging circumstances, have shaped the Dominica we know today. But as we celebrate these achievements, we must also recognize the barriers that still exist. Too many women continue to face inequality, gender-based violence, limited economic opportunities, and underrepresentation in leadership positions. We must work together to break down these barriers and ensure that every woman in Dominica, no matter her background or circumstance, has the opportunity to succeed.
Minister of State with special responsibility for gender affairs, Dr. Cassandra Williams. Employees of the Dominica Infirmary were also recognized by the Chinese Embassy as part of activities to mark International Women's Day. Dominica will tomorrow join in the observance of International Women's Day. Over 80 participants from across the Caribbean are expected to gather in Dominica for the 2025 Caribbean Public Service Association Conference. General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Lita, says preparations are in its advanced stages for the hosting of the week-long event.
Well, we are working very, very hard to make sure that things are in place for the TPSA 53rd annual conference, which will take place sometimes in July. Next week, God's willing, myself, Brother Steve Joseph, the president, the youth rep, and that is Nella Jules, as well as the treasurer of the Dominica Public Service Union, who is also the treasurer of the Caribbean Public Service Association. Joseph Peters will be traveling to Tobago for an executive meeting. So at that meeting, we will provide the executive with the plans that we have in place as far as the programs and activities are concerned for conference in Dominica. We are expecting or will be expecting between 80 to 100 participants from 17 countries, 20 affiliates. So it's going to be a big event, and that will be a week-long activities. So we look forward to that.
General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Lita. The Dominica Association of Teachers is awaiting a response from the government regarding salary negotiations. First Vice President of the association, Julian Benjamin, says the organization has proposed several salary and non-salary matters to the government.
Firstly, the Dominica Association of Teachers have met with the government. We have given them our proposal for salary increases for the year 2021-2024. We have gotten a counter proposal from them, and we had the first meeting. We have not had our second or follow-up meeting as yet. The Dominica Association, in terms of non-salaries, we have asked for a few things that we have not gotten the final for. And in terms of the percentage in salary increases, they are asking us to forego that. But the Dominica Association of Teachers, we are not getting the vibes from our teachers that we should. So we're still waiting for their response, because we gave them our response to that first part. Also, we are looking at what they're going to offer us, because we're supposed to have a second meeting with them sometime coming up next week. And we're looking for what they're going to be offering, because they have jumped and given us an offering for the triennium 2024 to 2027. We are of the firm view that we would not accept anything for the next triennium if we have not concluded the one under review, which is 2021 to 2024. So we are waiting to see what is the final that they have to offer. We will then take it to our membership, get their views on it, and then go back to the government on what a good offer for us. Because we feel that with the escalation in prices, especially local and domestic goods, grocery items, gas prices and everything, even the bills, the utilities have been rising. We are hoping that we could get something that would assist in buffering these rises. We have also looked at the fact that Social Security have gone up. So we need to get something that will assist in buffering all those increases that we have been having, so that we teachers can feel satisfied that we can meet our commitments, our monthly commitments, when we get the salary.
First Vice President of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Julian Benjamin. On the featured segment of the DBS Evening News, we focus on a young teacher, musician, steel pan player, and the drummer of the Swinging Stars Band, Vanandra Christian. Today, she was among 10 women recognized by the Ministry of Health and Social Services ahead of International Women's Day tomorrow. Teacher, musician, and steel pan player and drummer Vanandra Christian is our feature on the DBS Evening News.
So far, I think the main recognition is really for my role in playing music as a female. It's just a simple matter of the fact that we don't see a lot of women doing or playing drums or steel pan at the forefront. Usually they may be singing or doing one of the more usual instruments. So it's a little bit different. And I guess that is just the main reason for being recognized today. Also, as a teacher of music and teacher of drums, that is what the real focus is. Well, yes, I'm grateful for the progress that I've made. It's really been a situation where, as a little girl, people don't see you as being capable. You know, they encourage you, they give you a pat on the back. But it's really nice to see progress where I'm actually taking part in bands. I'm actually a member. I am there. I'm representing for women everywhere as well, and those who are interested in music. So there is that growth, and I'm grateful for that.
Talk to me about your engagement with, let's say, the Swinging Stars Band.
Well, I am currently the drummer for the Swinging Stars Band. That's probably the first time that there's been a female in that role. And yes, I'm the regular player, so I play for all the shows. I play whenever we go out to play. I will be the person who's there for now.
How challenging is this as a female, having to be drumming for a top band like Swinging Stars, How has that been?
Well, it has its challenges. I mean, I still am under criticism, and that is one of the things that women are standing up for today. You know, people don't believe you can do it. Once they see a woman, they still ask me, but you can play bouillon, you can play soca, you can play... They still ask you, why would I have the job if I couldn't play? So I've made it this far, and of course, it's tough still, but of course it's a fun journey as well. The band is very supportive, and I don't have any problems with them in that way, and I'm just happy to represent.
What about your teaching career?
Well, I continue to teach. I teach math and science and music at the St. Secondary School. Music is more something that I do at the cultural division. But yes, I continue to inspire whoever I can, whenever I can, when it comes to music, to just express themselves and enjoy doing what they love. Receiving this award it's really humbling. It has been an eye-opener. It makes you feel grateful knowing that people are watching what you're doing and what you've actually accomplished. And honestly, inside when the Honorable Melissa Scarrett was speaking, I kind of teared up a bit because she described, we go through so many challenges that people don't realize. There's so many words that have been thrown in my direction about being a female and drumming, and there have been a lot of negative comments. But as she said, just watch me. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm doing. So if you don't believe I can do it, just watch me do it.
Fernandra Christian on our feature segment of the DBS Evening News. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the Bahamas government has said officials from SpaceX are due in the Bahamas following last night's explosion of a SpaceX Starship rocket with debris falling into Bahamian airspace. The government said it has since been assured by SpaceX that the debris contains no toxic materials and that the debris will have no expected to have any significant impact on marine life or water quality. The SpaceX Starship spacecraft exploded on Thursday, minutes after lifting off from Texas. The government said it wanted to emphasize that this Starship is not part of the Bahamas Falcon 9 program. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened new sanctions and tariffs on Russia over its bombardments of Ukraine after previously spending U.S. aid to Kyiv in a stated bill to encourage diplomacy. His comments came hours after Russia launched a massive drone and missile attack on Ukraine energy facilities overnight. Trump said, and I quote, "Based on the facts that Russia is absolutely pounding Ukraine on the battlefield right now, I am strongly considering large-scale banking sanctions and tariffs on Russia." Meantime, Ukraine's president renewed calls for a mutual halt to attacks on critical infrastructure after the latest Russian attack. And that's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Welcome to the DBS Evening Sports Report. The Windward Islands Volcanoes return to winning ways in the regional cricket competition today. Sports editor Gavin Richards has a roundup of matches in the regional tournament. Good evening, Gavin.
Well, good evening to you, Leila Lancourt, and of course, good evening to the many listeners of DBS Radio. And Leila, like you quite rightly said, a big win for the Windward Islands Volcanoes today. Back to winning ways. After failing to win in their first three matches, they've picked up a comprehensive victory over the Leeward Island Hurricanes in St. Lucia. All-round performances from Ryan John and Sadrak Descartes were quite crucial in the Windward Islands win over the Hurricanes inside of 3 days. So Windward, remember, they batted first. They made 480 all-out. Sadrak Descartes getting 119, a maiden first-class century. Ryan John also got a maiden first-class century, getting 109. And Kenneth Demba got 75 not out. We had O'Shane Thomas taking 4 for 66 for the Leeward Island Hurricanes. Well, the Hurricanes in their turn at the crease, they were dismissed for 195. Mikael Louis, he top scored with 84, and Jamal Hamilton got 40. But Dominica's Gillan Tyson, he picked up 5 for 45, and Ryan John 4 for 42. So the Leeward Islands asked to follow on. They were bowled out for 225 this afternoon. Justin Graves, the West Indies player, got 67. Mikael Louis also got 39. But Sadrak Descartes, he picked up 3 for 58. And Ryan John, 2 for 21 for the Volcanoes. The Windward, in the end, winning by an innings and 60 runs. The final scores, the Windwards 480, the Leeward Islands 195, and 225 all out. And we must say a very convincing win for the Windward Islands Volcanoes. I can also tell you, Leila, that there was a victory for Barbados as well, as they cruised to a 10-wicket win over the combined campuses and colleges team inside of 3 days in their match. Well, Roston Chase was the star with both bat and ball. He recorded a 5-wicket haul. He also got a century in leading Barbados to victory. Remember, CCC batted first and they made 262 with Roston Chase taking 5 wickets. Barbados replied with 428 with Roston Chase getting 122, Kevin Wickham 95, and Jason Holder 39. And then the CCC batting a second time, they were dismissed for 193 with Camille Puran top scoring at 36. We had Jomal Warwick and getting 5 for 59, that's the West Indies player, and Roston Chase 2 for 69 as well. And then Barbados chased down the required runs with little effort. They didn't lose a wicket, getting 28 without loss to win the game by 10 wickets. Craig Brathwaite, he got 15 not out, and Zachary McCaskey 13 not out. In other action, Mila, were Trinidad and Tobago, they're leading the West Indies Academy by 254 more runs. Well, that should be by 254 runs, heading into the final day of play in their match. Trinidad, remember, were bowled out for 304 with Joshua De Silva getting his third straight century, 120, and Carrie Fair 42. Johan Lane picked up 5 for 56. So the West Indies Academy, they in reply were bowled out for 268 with Joshua Bishop getting 102 and Aki Logis 49. Carrie Fair, the leading wicket taker in the tournament, he picked up 3 for 66. Trinidad batting a second time, they were 218 for 9 at stumps. Cephas Cooper got 55, Yannick Karaya 54, Kelvin Pittman 4 for 38 for the West Indies Academy. So the scores in that game is Trinidad 304 and 218 for 9. The West Indies Academy 268 all out, and Trinidad, they're leading that game by 254 runs. Leila, we can also tell you that the Jamaican team, they're chasing 489 for victory in their match against the defending champions Guyana. Remember, Jamaica had that disaster of a start when they were bowled out for just 44 runs in their fifth innings, with Ronaldo Ali Mohammed taking 6 for 17 and Niall Smith 4 for 21 for Guyana. Guyana in their second innings, they eventually declared on 199 for 3, with Kelvin Anderson following up on his first inning century getting 50 not out. Jamaica a short while ago, 165 for 2. Remember that game taking place at Sabina Park. And Jamaica 165 for 2 a short while ago. Cook McKenzie, he was not out on 100. Brandon King, he got 53. So Jamaica needs 324 more runs if they have to pull off a come from behind victory against Guyana. But as things stand, it looks like advantage Guyana as they only need 8 more wickets for victory. So the scores in that game is Guyana 359 and 193 for 3. Jamaica 44 and 165 for 2. On the women's side, Leila, I can tell you that Trinidad and Tobago are the new CG United Super 50 over champions. They hammered Barbados in a one-sided final today. Barbados, of course, were bowled out for just 71 runs. Anissa Mohammed, she picked up a 3 for 17. And Karishma Rama, 2 for 12 for the Trinidadian team. And then Trinidad chasing just 72 for win. They made 75 for 3, with Janaba Joseph getting 28. So Trinidad winning that game by 7 wickets and winning the TG United Super 50 overs title in the process. The Windward Islands, well, they had a good day. They got past the Leeward Islands by 71 runs to secure 5th place. Windward made 130 batting first. Janila Glasgow, she made a 50. And the Leeward Islands were bowled out for 59, with Afi Fletcher getting 5 for 12. And the Guyana, they also beat Jamaica by 82 runs to secure 3rd place in the tournament. Guyana made 182 for 8. Raylana Grimond, she made 71. She capped off an amazing tournament, getting 71 in the final match for her team. And then Jamaica were bowled out for 100, chasing 183 to win. And Leila, finally, before I go, because I know I've said quite a mouthful, at the secondary schools level today, where we had 3 half centuries, but no result between the Academic School of Learning and the Castle Secondary School, and that's in the Sports Division Secondary School under 20 cricket tournament taking place at the Benjamin Park today. Academic School of Learning, they were bowled out for 218 batting first. Jelani Joseph, top score is 84. Luvio Charles got 58. Darren Tutef, 30. We had Osinio Fountain, the Windward Islands youth player, getting 4 for 32. Aiden Burton, 2 for 21. And Kenneth Balmont, 2 for 51. For Castle Secondary School, they reached 95 for 3 at stumps. And of course, we didn't have a winner as neither school were able to get a clear fifth inning. So Castle Secondary School, 95 for 3. The Senior Fountain, the top score is 53 not out. And Aiden Burton got a 27. Joel Jura, he took 2 for 37 for the Academic School of Learning. So Leila Langford, like you said, that game ended in a no result, but some good individual performances with half centuries from Osinio Fountain, Livio Charles, and Jelani Joseph. So that's all for now, Leila Langford.
Our thanks to Gavin Richards for that comprehensive sports report. 2 matches are carded for tonight in the DFA Women Premier League. At 6:30 p.m., South City FC will take on Maho Soccer Strikers at the DFA Technical Centre in Stockfarm. And Mighty Avengers will face Portsmouth Bombers at Benjamin's Park in Portsmouth. The Southeast FC versus Harlem United FC match has been postponed. President of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph, says Dominica will soon reap the benefits of being affiliated to the newly formed international body, World Boxing. Dominica joined 77 other countries worldwide in moving away from the International Boxing Association and establishing ranks with the newly formed World Boxing in 2023. Last week, the International Olympic Committee announced it was granting provisional recognition to World Boxing as it makes a bid to have boxing at the 2028 Olympic Games.
Which the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, has banned IBA as the international body for boxing in the Olympics. Dominica actually was probably the 20th or 22nd country in the world to switch from IBA to World of Boxing. Now there's 78 countries that moved since we moved. So Dominica has been well known for doing the right thing when it comes to sports. And to be very honest, most times Dominica travel is the Dominica Olympics that cover everything and sometimes the government of Dominica. So if the government of Dominica is not no part of an organization, neither the Olympics is no part, I don't think it's fair that we should be part of it. So when I realized the IBA were banned by World of Boxing, I had no choice but to bring it up to my executive. We spoke about it and we did the right thing, was to move away from them.
President of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph. He says that the recognition from the International Olympic Committee will open new doors for Dominica's boxing.
The World of Boxing, which they call WB, they got the recognition from Olympic, IOC, to actually run the Olympic movement and other things that have to do in boxing. Now, if you're not part of this grouping and you still remain under IBA, any young man that have a dream to be in the Olympics, that dream is lost away unless his country move from IBA to the world of boxing. Number two, if there is 200 countries that box in the world, maybe more than 100 of them is the Olympic Committee that usually fund them. Dominica is a perfect example. We get funding from the Olympic Committee. So if the international body, which is the IOC, give our national body, which is the NOC, and then they give us, we should be loyal and we should do what's right. And I think we did a very good movement. Every young boxer, no matter what part of the world they're from, their goal is to be an Olympian. So that's benefit number one. That's a big news. If you're not part of world of boxing, there is no way you can represent the country to even go to a qualification, the Pan American Games, the World Championship. All these are incentives. Without world of boxing, you cannot take part in the stuff.
President of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph. West Indies coach Darren Sammy says he has made no decision on stepping down as head of the St. Lucia Kings franchise ahead of the upcoming Caribbean Premier League. Sammy coached the St. Lucia Kings to their first CPL title in 2024. The CPL, which scheduled for August, is expected to clash with some West Indies assignments.
However, I've had conversations with Miles on the terms of my contract. I also, St. Lucia is a franchise that is also very, very dear to me. I've been there for 11 years from the inception of CPL. Winning last year meant so much. You saw what it meant to the people and to us as well. However, I don't intend to compromise my job in terms of not being able to prepare my players. I think we have India right after CPL, and most of our players will be playing in the Caribbean Premier League anyways. And that bridge, I know, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to be coaching the St. Lucia Kings this CPL season. Do I leave earlier? That's a conversation myself and director in terms of how our preparation will be, whether in India or Dubai or even in the Caribbean. But that's a conversation myself and the director will have.
West Indies coach Darren Sammy. And that's how we end the DBS Evening Sports Report and News. On behalf of the News and Sports Departments and our link person, DJ Hello Boy, I am Layla Langford saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.